It's a quarter to the weekend, and you are watching Smell the Coffee with Diana Master and Glenora Shipura on this beautiful, fantastic, amazing Thursday morning. We are gaslighting ourselves because you know what? The exhaustion is real, but we're not going to manifest that because there is power in the tongue. Good morning, baby girl. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I love that there is power in the tongue. So we are energized, we are abundant. You know, all the good things.
All the good things, all the good things are coming to us. You know, before I leave the house, I always say all things are working together for my good.
Ooh, all things are working together for my good. I think today
Yes.
I was saying, I'm loved, I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I was saying that over and over to myself.
As you should.
As I was
should.
preparing to come to work. Yes. And we should obviously remind ourselves of the fact that, hey, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're doing whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? It is a blessing in and of itself.
I always say biblical manifestations. For example, I believe I will live to see the goodness of the Lord in this land of the living.
Ooh, I believe I will. Yes,
I am a lender, not a borrower.
I am a lender and not a borrower. Yes.
I am blessed and I'm highly favored.
Yes.
Those are some of my manifestations. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Speaking of somebody that is fearfully and wonderfully made, Miss Johanna Swartboy unveiled the national costume. So the national costume for Miss Universe Namibia 2025, Johanna Swartboy, was recently unveiled, showcasing a visual tribute to the country's rich cultural heritage, natural beauty, and enduring spirit. The costume was revealed by the Miss Namibia organization in partnership with the NBC and Deb Marie Namibia. Miss Namibia organization said the design reflects a harmonious blend of influences from across Namibia's tribes, landscape, and traditional craftsmanship, capturing the essence of a united and resilient nation. Rooted in symbolism, the national costume features a crown and cape inspired by Namibia's iconic quiver tree, representing endurance and strength. Printed with the image of a quiver tree at sunset, the cape evokes the majesty of Namibia's landscape and timeless spirit, they explained. They further highlighted that the crown includes a beaded headband and diamond centerpiece that mirror Namibia's radiance on the global stage. Around her neck, Swartboy wears a striking beaded necklace crafted from ostrich shell and traditional beads in shades of yellow, orange, blue, green, red, and brown, each color signifying a harmony among Namibia's cultures. While the corset pays homage to the Khoisan heritage, adorned with intricate beadwork and flowing coiled elements that celebrate femininity and traditional craftsmanship, they added. The organization said the skirt draws inspiration from Caprivian and Nama dress artistry, with radiant patterns symbolizing Namibia's skies, oceans, and sunsets. Additional handcrafted elements include the onjeva, made from ostrich shells, symbolizing purity and the industrious spirit of Namibian women, as well as a waist belt and a beaded front piece made by Khoisan women, embodying identity and pride, they said. They explained that a front leather piece rooted in Himba and San traditions represents Namibia's connection to nature, hunting, and gathering. Completing the look, the anklets reflect Ovahimba and Ovambo customs, symbolizing health and well-being, they described. Now, Swartboy said her national costume proudly reflects Namibia's rich cultural diversity and stunning natural beauty, telling a visual story through every color, texture, and detail. At its core, the look symbolizes unity among Namibia's many tribes while celebrating resilience, identity, and pride, she emphasized.
Wow, she looks absolutely stunning. And the costume, I think this might be my favorite. I love it.
Okay.
I totally love it. And also the back story behind it, like the fact that they try to incorporate all the different cultures in Namibia in that one dress. Wow, just absolutely wow.
Absolutely beautiful. I think what I love is the fact that, like you're saying, the story. When you see the costume, a lot of the people might not understand, like, oh, what. But when you read the description or when you hear the description, and I'm actually a little upset that at the Miss Universe stage, they summarized everything. You know, it's like 1-2 sentences, so you don't actually get to hear the full story behind the costume. For example, just from watching the the show, I wouldn't have known about what the tree symbolizes.
Exactly.
You understand? The intricate beadwork, the leather, everything just ties together so beautifully.
I'm just getting goosebumps just
Me
thinking
too.
about all the work that went into it. It's so beautiful. Like, wow. Kudos to the whole team that, you know, are behind Miss Namibia in terms of just packaging her for the Miss Universe stage. Like,
Yes.
wow.
And on that note, please let us know what you guys think of the national costume. We are looking forward to hearing your opinions on this. But on that note, we will be right back with some more of our top stories right after this.
Save the date for November 26, 2025, when all registered voters head to the polls for the regional councils and local authorities elections. Your voice matters, and your vote is your voice. Head to your nearest polling station and elect your leaders. Remember, every vote counts. Get involved, put your voice in the box. Vote on November 26, 2025.
Life is unpredictable, and one needs to be protected against any eventuality. Get Santam legal access from as little as 50 Namibian dollars a month for when you find yourself in need of legal representation due to civil cases, criminal prosecution, and family matters such as divorce, child maintenance, and custody. It also covers labor disputes, disciplinary hearings, and unfair dismissal or retrenchment. With Santam Legal Access, you'll receive free legal advice on almost every legal aspect, whether the specific matter is covered by your policy or not. For true peace of mind and legal protection when you need it most, call us on 061 292 8000. Santam. This is freedom.
Now this morning, Glenn and I were talking about Ray's song, Where's My Husband, right? And in the song she says, I would like a big diamond ring that I can wave around. What, do you have a dream ring?
No, actually, I don't even think I aspire to wanting to be married.
Okay, anyway, frustrated woman turned down boyfriend's $898 Walmart engagement ring, but not for the reason you'd think. She didn't like it, so don't put a ring on it. In a time when people are spending upwards of $20,000 to propose, one woman is complaining about her less than $1,000 Walmart engagement ring from her boyfriend, but not for the reason you'd expect. Like many youngsters do nowadays, a woman named Priscilla took to Threads to share a screenshot of a text conversation with her would-have-been fiancé alongside a picture of the $898 ring he proposed with to ask the questions, what are y'all's thoughts on this? I'm curious. Based on the screenshot, Priscilla turned her man down, leaving him confused and embarrassed, but it wasn't so much the size, cut, or price of the diamond ring he got her. The reasoning behind her decision was more about him not listening to her once. I've told you the kind of ring I wanted more than once, and you showed up with something from Walmart. Tyler, if you knew what I wanted and still chose to do what was easiest, tells me you don't really hear me. I want to feel chosen, not just proposed to, she texted. You have to give credit where it's due. She knows what she wants and she's standing her ground. Some comments on the thread sided with the boyfriend. Girl, what the F is wrong with you? I hate when I have to side with men. Avoid any woman who cares for the ring more than the proposal, but plenty of others empathized with how Priscilla was feeling. No, she's legit here. It's not about the ring. It's about listening. I'm sorry, but my promise ring alone is $1,000 and it was exactly what I wanted, a gold ring with diamonds wrapped all around it. It's not about the price, so I get it. A man who truly listens is the kind of man who'll do exactly what you said and put in the work. And she's not the only one rolling her eyes at a ring a man asked her to marry him with. Help, I hate my ring. An anonymous future bride said on Facebook, my fiance blindsided me with a proposal. I'm so grateful for the gesture, but I hate the ring. The frustrated fiance complained that her man never asked her or even her friends the type of ring she'd want. I thought it would grow on me. I gave it a week. I get sad every time I look at it. It's so not me, she continued, sharing 2 snapshots of the jaw-dropping jewel. The round shape, halo, the pave band, I would have chosen the total opposite. I changed my nail shape from square to accommodate the design, thinking if I have round nails, I'll like a round ring more. Didn't work.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's the ring.
I don't know. Maybe we also need to hear his side of the story.
There is no his side of the story, because if I've told you countless times the ring that I want.
Yeah, I just want to know, could he not afford the ring that you wanted? That's all I want to know.
Okay, there's
that's
that.
That's all I want to know. Like, I can say I want this ring, but my man can't afford it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, I think maybe what he could have done in that case was say, listen, this is a temporary ring until I have the money to afford the ring that you want.
That is fair. That is also nice.
That, you know.
I know, baby, this is not what you wanted.
For example,
trust me, I'm working on the ring that you
if I got that ring, I would absolutely hate it. I think it's tacky. I absolutely, I think it's tacky. For example, even, what's her name? Georgina, Cristiano Ronaldo's partner, her ring. People are like, oh my goodness, the diamond is so big. I don't like it because it just gives tacky. It gives costume jewelry. It needs to be, for me, this is for me. I'm not saying, you know, for me, this is a personal preference. It needs to be significantly big enough to make a statement, but not too out there that it starts looking like costume jewelry. You know, like those Lovisa big diamond.
Yes, where everybody can and you can't wear it every day because it's so heavy.
Impractical.
And yes, exactly.
And you're walking around with a target on your back.
We know that you're, there she is with $1 million ring.
With the $1 million ring. I mean, I wouldn't mind a $1 million
I don't mind.
ring.
Yeah, we don't mind. Actually, I did say what, I don't know where I stand when it comes to
marriage.
Yes, but I do want to be proposed to with a very expensive ring.
Yes.
Please.
I already have a picture of my ring.
Very expensive ring.
I know exactly the ring that I want. I sent it to my sisters. I sent it to my friends.
So that he can ask around.
He must ask. They will tell him that this is the ring that Diana wants.
I love this. You're manifesting this for us. Eh?
So, babe, if you are listening, this is a message to my future husband. Baby, please, just go talk to my sisters, talk to my friends. They'll tell you the ring that I want, the exact ring that I want. You can feel free to add some of your, you know, design elements in there, but let the core of the ring, you know, like the diamond cut, the diamond shape.
I think I would like my initials engraved in it. Then I know that you're giving this only to me. I would love that. So, yeah.
Dear future husband.
Take notes.
Take notes. If my ring is not even remotely close to what I said I want, let's just call off the wedding. It's okay.
It's fine. I'll walk out. You walk out of the proposal.
Yeah.
Now, getting into our next story, which is still touching on relationship. But this is now an analysis that was done by science. During me, I thought the days of the body count were long behind us, but trust scientists to bring it back up again. Now, according to science, not us, there is an ideal body count. Sorry, we did do this story. Yes. we got it confused with another story. But it is a study done on the impact, rather, that pornography has on your sex life with your partner. It is no secret that porn has become increasingly more available and less frowned upon by society over the last few years. Now, there's no shame in watching porn. If anything, it can help you explore your desires and become more sexually connected with yourself or even with your partner. However, the accessibility and personalization of adult content does make us wonder what kind of effect watching pornography can have on our real-life sexual relationships. Like many things in life, consuming anything in excess can often lead to negative outcomes. So what happens when you or your partner regularly watches porn together? Does it affect the sexual relationship you have with your partner? Is there such a thing as watching too much porn? These articles tend to sex and intimacy educator Grace Ellis to answer the questions. Porn can sometimes become a positive tool. To start us off, sex and intimacy educator Grace Ellis points towards the importance of context. It's very possible that watching porn can affect the sex you have with your partner, but this impact is highly dependent on context. For some people, consuming porn or erotica is occasional and doesn't feel compulsive. They know it isn't realistic and don't use it to judge or measure their real-life sexual experiences. She goes on to explain that if you or your partner watches porn, this doesn't necessarily have to have a negative impact on your own sex life. If anything, it could actually bring about some benefits and help spice things up in the bedroom. However, she quickly warns about the risk associated with adult content, emphasizing the potential for developing an unhealthy dependency and the misconception that real-life sex should look or sound like what it is depicted on screen. Grace Ellis continued to point out that she has noticed a worrying increase in women telling her about their experiences with aggression during what should have been more casual sex. She went on to say that clients of hers will open up about hurtful acts such as choking and slapping during sex that weren't discussed or agreed to beforehand. Grace Ellis thinks the normalization of aggression towards women in porn could be contributing to this. So technically what she's trying to say is there are the positive elements to it, but then the negativity of it is that men tend to become more aggressive towards women because it's normalized in a lot of sexual
and, like she's saying,
pornography content that you find online.
Unrealistic expectations.
Unrealistic expectations. So it goes to also ask, is it very healthy to include porn in your sex life?
I think to an extent it is. I think it's Forrest Frank, the gospel singer, who went on a podcast and was actually explaining that before, he went into Christianity, like before he had a deeper relationship with God, he used to watch a lot of pornography. And the first time him and his wife, because they were already married, did the deed, she cried. Because she was like, where are you getting all of these things from? Like, what is happening? And then when he was telling the story, he was actually crying to say it hurt him so much because he had these unrealistic expectations and he was taking what he learned from porn to their bedroom.
Yeah, because you also don't... I hear you.
But anyway, because we are out of time and we still have a lot more.
But speaking of future husbands, I just want to sneak this in. I want my men to cry knowing that I was not satisfied or I was not happy. You know what I mean? I want that. I want that kind of reaction. Oh, my baby was not happy today. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we want. We are manifesting that. Caring men.
Speaking of caring, let's take a look at these next interviews to see how you can care for your hair.
Okay, my name is Whitney Shingenge. I am a researcher by profession and a medicinal plant enthusiast. I basically study medicinal plants and the different uses that the plants have.
All right, so you were here today at this hair seminar, and of course you were telling us and giving us a little bit more insight into different, herbs and how they work for our hair.
Yes.
But you also touched on a very important topic, which is the toxicity.
Yes.
So a lot of the times when we perhaps go on TikTok or whatever, and we see that, oh, but rosemary worked for this person's hair, so it's obviously going to work for mine. And we don't actually take the time to read up on the toxicity of some of these plants. Could you just walk us through some of that?
Okay, so like I mentioned in my presentation, plants are beneficial, but it's if they are used correctly, if they are sourced correctly. I made a reference to plants that I use specifically a lot of times for hair. There's aloe vera. you know. You can't just take an aloe vera leaf and, you know, sort of put it directly into your hair. You need to be aware that, you know, there are certain parts of the plant that can be toxic. You get this yellow residue that comes from the aloe vera leaf, and that part is very toxic to you. It can cause irritation on your scalp, especially if you are applying it to your hair. I also spoke about fenugreek, and I spoke about shea butter. So with those two, the toxicity that you can get is that you could have mold growing on your fenugreek seeds, you know, or you can have shea butter that has not been stored properly, and it sort of starts growing bacteria. And bacteria is especially dangerous because you can't see it, you know. So you always need to be wary of these things. And then I also spoke about rosemary oil, the essential oil. It's highly concentrated. So it's advised that you don't use it directly onto your scalp or into your hair, that you rather put a few drops in a carrier oil, such as coconut oil, for example, just to dilute it a little bit. So yeah, to round it off, plants are really good, but I wouldn't advise you to just see a video of somebody doing something and then you immediately want to try the same thing on your hair. You know, read up a little bit and find out, you know, are there any side effects? You know, if you're a very sensitive scalp, for example, there's some things that would not be advisable to use.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And another thing you also spoke of was basically these DIYs, you know, mixing our own products and mixing our own herbs. And you actually spoke on the dangers of that.
Yes.
But for those that missed it, please do explain to our viewers the dangers of doing it yourself without actually doing proper research.
Okay, so a product, before it goes on the shelf, it goes through rigorous testing. You know, they're looking at concentrations, if, you know, the chemicals are going to be harmful to you. They're looking at the shelf life, how long can this sort of product work? And they look at so many different things. And when you do these DIY products or DIY masks, most of the time it can be very harmful. You know, you're making this gel or whatever, you're putting it in the fridge for 2 weeks, and then you're using it on your scalp. In these 2 weeks, it has accumulated all these weird growths and things, and you're like, you might just disregard it and continue using the product, and that can be very dangerous. So I would say my takeaway is rather use a known product. You know, there are a lot of options now. We've got Rooted Beginnings, who has a range of, you know, products that have got natural herbs infused in them. These are professionals, you know, that know the right compositions, that know the right mixtures. So I would rather you use that than try, you know, weird things on your hair.
Before anything happens, before we do more damage than good.
Exactly.
And lastly, what would you say is one essential herbal plant or, you know, anything herbal that we should keep in our cupboards, especially for our hair?
For your hair, I think I also mentioned it in the panel. I'm a very big fan of rosemary oil. You also get people that take just the fresh rosemary and you sort of mix it in water and you spray that hair onto your hair.
Yes, you spray it onto your scalp.
Onto your scalp. So I would say an essential one to have that is really good is rosemary oil. Just be cautious not to use it in high concentrations. If you've got an essential oil, you sort of put it in a carrier oil and use that. Or you can put a few drops of the essential oil in water and then use that to spray in your hair.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Whitney, for this insight.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shilago Fisachi. I am a communication specialist, but also a male voice for the natural hair journey. I'm trying to represent the male perspective of that journey. Basically, so I also try to do some educational content with regards to scalp psoriasis, which is something I suffer from. It is an autoimmune disease whereby, in layman's term or simple terms, basically it's just that your body is trying to create more skin layer to basically protect itself, and then it looks like dandruff, but it's not dandruff. It is just excess skin, and it does cause flare-ups, and it does cause irritation, and obviously, as human nature would have it, the scratching and everything can also cause infections. Basically, the journey of coming from being a natural hair enthusiast to doing the big job has been a huge thing, but it also comes with a lot of education. Knowing what products to use with your hair, knowing not to be afraid of using female products, because all hair is still hair, not the same, but they're hair. So the male hair and the female hair don't necessarily have a segregation. So coming from the stigma, coming from having to pull myself away from the stigma of, oh no, that's a female product, to then coming to making sure that my hair needs to be healthy, knowing that my hair also affects my mood, my confidence, it affects my health. So just starting with something small like that has helped me to basically navigate through this journey of scalp psoriasis.
All right,
Yeah.
and then and that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Smile the Coffee. We'll catch you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place.